Really surprising thing that no one saw coming, and that's a rear mechanical handbrake. Hello folks, welcome to Netcruzer RC. Alright, we're going to do another one of these screen recordings because some new stuff came out, again, from ARRMA. Now, this has been a fairly busy news week this week, where Horizon Hobby bought Proline, Traxxas came out with the Haas, and then ARRMA came out with a bunch of new stuff too. I'm just going to talk about ARRMA just because their website is really well done and I can go through it in detail and I want to spend the most time on that. But if you're interested in those other things, certainly Google them. There's lots of information about that too. Interesting RC News Week. Let's just jump right into it. ARRMA stuff. 2 new cars. The Felony. And this stuff leaked out early, so Horizon Hobby, the corporation owner of ARRMA, ended up leaking out this car early yesterday. Always Horizon products come out on a Thursday. It leaked out on Wednesday, and then they decided to just release it all. It came out kind of midday on Wednesday, this stuff. That was August 12. And some of the information wasn't really right. There were some mistakes. There were some questions. Now that it's the next day, I figured I'll just go through it because most of it's settled down. So here's the muscle car. We knew this was coming because there was 2 leaks through Horizon before this released. One being the names and the second one being the pictures yesterday. This is based on the 7th scale on-road platform, and they made a muscle car. Some very unique things about it though, in that the rear tire is both wider and taller than the front, which normally on an all-wheel drive car that wouldn't make sense and you couldn't do, but I'll explain how they made that work once we get into the details. I really like this black on black. As you can see, there's 2 colors, one of them being the orange on black and black on black. Now, because they made it a 2-tone paint scheme, I think I just like that murdered out look more, especially with the red little trim bits of like the 17mm hexes kind of match up with the blower if you choose to put the blower attachment on. Note that this one has twin Turbowskis on the top. That's optional too. You can mix and match. It comes with the accessories to make it look how you want it to look. Down through here, I'm going to skip over the videos. We're going to just talk about some of the unique things that come in it. Here's some of the accessories. You do get the new DX3 radio, and unlike some of the other ARRMAs that just came out with DX3, this one's being paired with the top of the line receiver, the 6110, I believe, which gives it 6 channels and AVC. The motor has now become spectrumized, as well as the nice thing is that they added in a huge heatsink and fan on top, and the ESC is now Spectrum as well, the Firma 150, and then some other little things like the captured rear. They've added bearing rollers to the rear drive axle so that it stops it from resonating and vibrating. With the first generation Limitless and Infractions, a lot of people were replacing that rear drive shaft with a titanium one to try and stop that. So let's just go through over some of the quick ideas. It's got some interesting things on the orange one, and I don't know if this is on the black one, but it has these stealthy decals so that when you shine light over it, they reflect back ARRMA. I'm not sure if it's on the black, but it's definitely on the orange because it was in their press video. Here's the difference in the tires. The front tires are always the standard Hoon size we've always had. The rear ones are bigger, 107 millimeters in diameter, and they're quite a bit wider. Now, width doesn't matter, but height does. If you have a 7mm higher diameter tire on the rear than the front, you can't have that on an all-wheel drive car without actually compensating it through gears. So that's what they did, is the rear input drive from the rear diff is less teeth. So the front and rear gearbox ratios are matched to adjust the tire size. So don't think that you can go and buy this bigger tire and put it on the back of an Infraction and it'll be all good. You need to also match the gearbox ratios too if you want to do this staggered look. Here's all the motor accessories that you get. Oh, cool. I didn't even know that that front intercooler thing was optional too, because I thought, it's weird having a front intercooler when you've got a supercharger. But anyway, so you can get like a 8-pot carbureted look. You can get the modern Corvette style header look. You can get the blowers, twin turbos, intercooler. I'm not sure what this long pipe is for. Anyway, lots of cool little mods that you can add that you get the mix and match, and they all come painted, which is nice. Here's the double bearing rollers for that rear drive shaft, stops it from vibrating and resonating. The new Spectrum ESC and the new Spectrum motor with a big heatsink and fan, which is nice. Here's your DX3 radio. The big thing is that you're getting the $100 plus receiver with this. This is their top of the line DSMR receiver, 6 channels with telemetry ports with AVC. So yeah, that's the ARRMA Felony. I really like it. I think it looks awesome, especially in the black. And so here's the instruction manual for it. I thought we could quickly flip through the instruction manual. The one thing I do really like about the Felony that the Infraction doesn't have is you see how the body, the reason why it's two-tone is because the black part is plastic. And it's also quite 3D. So you can see here how it tucks in. That's awesome, because one of the problems with the Infraction is the Infraction has the Lexan body all the way out to the wheel wells, and it leaves a huge gap of stuff to get in. Where did I have that? Right there. You see how much room is there to fling stuff up into the body? It really collected a lot of crap. So again, third-party companies would make these little arrow block-off plates for that so that you could block that off. The Felony basically already has it because it looks like it's tucked well in, and then it kind of works its way back as well as the arrow diffuser flows in. So they did that well, how it's got that set up. So it shows you that it does stay with the body, but it gets really close to the chassis. So they've fixed that issue with the Felony. I like that a lot. Here's how you put on all the accessories on the body. And then really that's most of the interesting things. I don't think I need to show you too much about the manual. Okay, what's new with the Infraction? The colors are interesting because if you choose the blue one, then you get silver and red on the top. If you choose the silver one, you get blue and red on the top. It's kind of an interesting mix. Both of them are very kind of patriotic colors for America, and they both look good. The surprise feature of the Infraction V2 is the mechanical handbrake, which is sitting here in the middle, which allows you to clamp down a disc brake, which sits in the middle here. It blocks off the power going to the rear wheel and locks them up. So you can do e-brake, handbrake style power slides or drift initiations. That's crazy. Very cool. It is a part that I'll show you a bit more, and it will be compatible to be bolted into all of the all-road style chassis that use this 1/7 scale chassis. That's really the only new, very unique thing about the Infraction is the colors and the handbrake. The rest of the stuff is the same as the Felony, and we didn't get an update to the Limitless. Limitless was a roller anyway. They didn't announce anything new with the Limitless. Now, the thing with the Infraction is you are getting two servos. They kept their own ARRMA designed branded servo for steering because they feel like it's better, and then they put in a Spectrum for just the simple click on and off of using the brake. I thought that was interesting too. They didn't want to put the Spectrum in for their steering because I remember seeing posts from ARRMA about how they've been working on their servo, and they feel like they've got it better than some of the other RTR servos, so they kept it. Really, that's about it for the Infraction. Here's the way the brake disc works. It's actually metal. It's almost like it is like a real brake. You get a metal disc and then a caliper that moves back and forth and clamps down on it, and that's how it blocks off, locking off that rear power going to the rear wheels. Very neat. And here's the part for it. So in the exploded part diagram, if you click on the module, it looks like it is an upgradable module so that you can buy it and add it to your Limitless or your Felony. So here it is. It's the ARRA 311025, and it includes the module, 3 different servo horns for whatever kind of servo you have. The heat sink for the motor, I noticed that was a new part too. Now I was thinking, oh, it would be cool if you could just add that to any other old 2050 kV motor. It might not work because the old original ARRMA 2050 had ribs on the can already, and I believe the Spectrum is more smooth. So just keep that in mind, that if you do want to try and buy this part to clip onto your existing ARRMA older motor that's used in the 7th scale systems or any of the 6th scale systems, it might not fit. But I may try. I think it's a really neat part and I would like to try it. Okay, so then next thing is really just pricing. What's new about pricing? It's going to be $650 US for the Felony, and I'm kind of curious if the Infraction is more or less, or if it's the same price, because it has an additional servo and the brake, and so they kept it the same price. All right, so they both are a same price match. You have to decide, what do you like the idea of more? Do you want the Huna truck style with the mechanical brake, or do you want the car style? Probably handles maybe a little bit smoother and faster on the road with the rear bigger tires. Not sure yet. Anyway, those are the new ARRMAs. Okay guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe. If you want to talk to me, leave a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching.